Welcome, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Accurate Context Live. Before I get into this live stream, please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. And y'all, if you go over to my TikTok right now, I just posted an accurate context episode over there exposing Dr. Heavenly's lies. She did an interview last night with Rodney the Voice where I paid my super chat to ask her why she spread misinformation about endometriosis because she was trying to be messy towards Sweet Tea. And she responded to the question saying that she never did it. But guess who had the receipts, y'all? Guess who had the receipts? I did. I had the receipts of all the nasty comments that she made. So I did a whole accurate context episode exposing her lies and also giving some information about endometriosis because it's accurate context after all. We're going to be a little bit messy, but we're going to give information. We're going to educate. We're going to advocate. All right? We're going to spread awareness. Um, housekeeping. Oh, where is my disclaimer? Here we go. The commentary, opinions, and discussions in this video are based on a combination of factual information and my personal opinion and interpretation of hot topics, current events, and celebrity news. Discussions regarding publicly available information are speculative and reflect my personal opinion. While I strive to provide accurate and reliable information, some content may be subjective and reflect my personal biases. By watching this video, you acknowledge that the content is for entertainment and informational purposes only. All right, let me see who is in here. Hi, Ebony Dancer. Hi, Auntie Linda Gamble. All the tea in China. What I'm doing up, girl? I have this bad habit of getting home from work, doing all my chores, and taking a shower and going to sleep. And then I wake up and my mind is like swirling with information and ideas. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe other people are up to. Let me talk to them whilst everybody else in my house is asleep. Okay. So that's why I'm up. But what are y'all doing up? Not that I mind. I'm so grateful that y'all are here with me. Um all the tea in China, Tamara Morgan. Hello. And my Jamaican sis, Ebony the Best, is in the house. Hello. All right, y'all. So we know that Melody Cherie, she went live yesterday, and she, in entertainment, especially in reality TV, it's called breaking the fourth wall. And Melody, for sure, broke the fourth wall yesterday. And she exposed some things that I feel like a lot of us already knew. That these people are just fake. They're always looking for moments. And they just want to have a problem with her. And they are willing to sell their souls to have a problem with Melody instead of just showing the real. I think that's what reality TV is missing. People who are willing to just show the real. They feel like viewers want conflict nonstop. And the truth is, a lot of us as viewers, we feed into the conflict. You know, we feed into it on our YouTube channels, we feed into it on Instagram and on Twitter and on TikTok. And so when one person is looked at as the star of the show, oftentimes there are people who they want to tear that person down. And I'm talking about within the fandom. And then there's also people on the particular shows who also want to tear that person down so that they can get that top spot. And they are willing to do whatever producers ask of them in order to get that top spot. And that is what I think is happening on shows like Love and Marriage Huntsville and Married to Medicine and even Real Housewives of Potomac too when Candace was on the show. Like when you have cast members like a Giselle and a Heavenly and a Quad and a Kimmy and a Tisha and a Destiny, when you have cast members like a Bryn from Real Housewives of New York, when you have cast members like those who are willing to do whatever to remain relevant on a show, that's when we start to cross certain boundaries. That's when we get into an area of you are selling your soul for a change. And it's sad. And I decided that I was going to go back into my archives and I was going to look at some research that I did a few months ago regarding reality TV contracts and what they look like. So I'm going to read some articles that I had found. And as I'm reading it, I hope some of y'all will stay in the chat. And I want you to tell me if some of the things that I'm reading, if they don't sound like some of the things that Melody Cherie talked about yesterday during her live. So here we go. First article. Former The Real Housewives of New York City star Aviva Drescher opened up about her time on the franchise in an interview for the Real Housewives episode of the Vice series Dark Side of Reality TV. A clip from the episode was shared to the Vice YouTube channel on November 7th, where Drescher shared what it was like getting her contract for the show when she joined Real Housewives of New York for season 5 in 2012. When I was first handed the contract, the financials are a joke. You don't start off doing the Real Housewives for money. It's insultingly low. Sound like something that Winter told us, right? About Love and Marriage Huntsville. But let's continue. It's insultingly low, but the contract itself was horrific, Drescher said. It was basically saying, if we catch you making a number two on the toilet and we choose to air it, too bad. And if we want to air it for the next 20 years and give you no money for it, too bad. We own you. You get nothing, and we can do whatever we want. Drescher wasn't the only franchise star to speak out, as Real Housewives of Orange County OGs Vicky Gunvalson and Gina also sat for interviews about their experiences, with Gunvalson calling the housewives' contracts a deal with the devil. So the first season, we got no pay. Again, does that not sound like something Winter told us about Love and Marriage Huntsville? And what So Gucci said about Bell Collective. But let's continue. Um, I don't know how to pronounce this last name, so I'm just gonna say Kiao. Shared with Govinson, adding, season two, I believe I got 5,000 for the whole season. Not much money. I didn't even have an attorney look over my contract. It was like, yeah, I'll sign it. I had no idea what I was doing. Drescher went on to explain that she decided to take the risk and sign her contract with the goal of being her authentic self. The producers, however, wanted the cast to play up their drama and arguments. Let me read that again. The produ Let me read it from the top. Drescher went on to explain that she decided to take the risk and sign her contract with the goal of being her authentic self. The producers, however, wanted the cast to play up their drama and arguments. As Drescher said, those who didn't quote unquote produce drama would be fired from the show. One second, y'all. One second, y'all. All right, y'all. So, what I just read, especially that last part where um Miss Dreschner is saying that for Real Housewives of New York, she wanted to be her authentic self, but the producers wanted the cast to play up drama, right? And then she also said that if a cast member decided that they were not going to do what the producers were asking of them, they would be fired. What did Melody say yesterday about somebody being told that because they seem like they are a Melody supporter or a Millimeter supporter, they were going to be put on ice? Recall that part of Melody's life? This is a whole other reality star from a whole other show basically saying the same things. Basically saying the same things. The same things Winter was saying. The same thing Aikisha said. The same thing So Gucci said. These contracts aren't different, in my opinion. I feel like across all reality TV shows, they have standard wordings in their contracts. They might change a few things here and there, but I feel like across all reality TV shows, they utilize the same contracts. But let's continue. All right, I'm continuing with the article now, y'all. I can promise you the cast on its own would never have an argument. I can assure you, Drescher said of her Real Housewives of New York co stars. We are grown women with children, and it's not our first time at the rodeo of life. Even the ones who you think are the worst are 1,000 times nicer than what you think they are. We don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but we have to hurt someone's feelings in the name of making a great show with great ratings. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. One of the most infamous moments from Real Housewives of New York history took place at the end of season 6 when Drescher threw her prosthetic leg while in a fight with her co stars. If any of y'all watch Real Housewives of New York, then y'all would remember that. While Drescher explained the leg throw as a way to quote unquote shut up her castmates during the fight in a 2014 interview with Extra TV, she claimed in a January 2015 interview with the Huffington Post that her move was in response to the network asking her to be dramatic. Can you imagine that? Can y'all imagine that? This lady is saying that she took off her prosthetic leg and threw it during a fight on reality TV because the network was asking her to be dramatic on camera. Let me continue. I looked at being a housewife as being a job to entertain people, Drescher said. It, speaking of the leg toss, was a piece of entertainment. I think the highest ratings of the entire season was that episode. I tried my best. I felt an obligation to earn my keep. So, is that what it is for Kimmy? Somebody called her up and told her that, listen, going into the reunion, we noticed that you and Mel, y'all are cool, but we can't have that at the reunion. We need some drama. You need to go at Mel. You need to earn your keep. Is that what they told you, Kimmy? Is that what they told you, Kimmy? Hmm. Let's continue. Let's continue. Reality TV contracts exposed. There's so many articles on this, y'all, but it takes a lot to find them. All right, another article. Okay. Um. Okay. So this is an article that is about a reality, a Real Housewives show in New Zealand. But you're going to hear how similar the contracts sound to the contracts of the Real Housewives of New York that I just read. So get ready, y'all. All right. So the cast of the Real Housewives of Auckland signed away their privacy, the perpetual right to use their name, likeness, nickname, and voice throughout the universe. And this is in quotes, y'all, throughout the universe. And it gave producers the right to tell them untruths. Lord Jesus. Let me read that again. Because we heard Melody say yesterday that there were narratives created because the producers, well, let me not say she said the producers. She said because no one asked her for the truth. They were willing to run with a narrative because they didn't want the truth. But let me start over. The cast of The Real Housewives of Auckland signed away their privacy, the perpetual right to use their name, likeness, nickname, and voice in quotes throughout the universe, end quote, and gave producers the right to tell them untruths for quote unquote dramatic effect. A leaked contract reveals. The cast were each paid $15,000 to appear in the show, the contract shows. The finale to the most explosive reality TV show in New Zealand history aired last Tuesday night, with viewers lapping up more explosive outbursts from six strong cast. And this article was written in 2016, just so we're clear. I'm not talking about, something that happened yesterday. It capped off a crazy 10 weeks of broadcasting, including the infamous N bomb, and y'all should know what the N word means in this day and age, from Julia Sloan. As uncertainty surrounds a possible second season for the show, the Herald on Sunday has obtained a copy of the contract, which cast members Anne Batley Burton, Michelle Blanchard, Gilda Kirkpatrick, Angela Stone, and Louise Wallace and Sloan signed. The all encompassing contract saw Cast waive away a host of rights, as well as allowing for use of embarrassing and unfavorable depictions, factual or fictional. This is why my lawyer friend told me a reality TV contract is one of the worst contracts for any entertainer to get into. This is what my lawyer friend told me. He's an entertainment lawyer. Winter said today that in her contract, they wanted rights to her music. And her lawyer told her, nope, they got to take that language out of your contract. They got to take that language out of your contract. You're not giving them any rights to your music. That is your intellectual property. Because if she had given them rights to her music for the time frame that she was on the show, then they would have owned aspects of her music in perpetuity. Y'all need to go and listen. Winter's Life from today. Hey, Ines. Hi, who's this? Oh, beautiful Bush. And tennis is life. Ooh, are you a tennis coach? A tennis coach or you play tennis? I've always wanted to learn how to play tennis. But anyways, let me not have my ADHD kick in because I will go off. I'll go off topic real quick. All right, see? And I'm doing it right now. All right, let me go back. License was given for dramatic effect, with producers given permission to make statements related to any topic, true, partially true, or untrue. I want Winter to tell me some of the things that were in her contract. Like, I wish Winter was in here right now to say, I can confirm that sounds like language that was in my contract. All right, let's continue. The housewives also gave the producer of the show the right to use their name, likeness, voice, and biographical material, not just throughout the world, but also the universe in perpetuity. Not the universe, child. Let's continue. By signing the 25-page contract, cast members also accepted that appearance, depiction, and portrayal in connection with the series and their actions and the actions of others in connection with the series may be disparaging. Are y'all hearing this? Some of these reality TV stars are signing contracts with words that says, in quotes, appearance, depiction, and portrayal in connection with the series, and actions and the actions of others in connection with the series, end quote, may be, in quotes, disparaging, embarrassing, or off and otherwise unfavorable and may portray me in a bad light. Mm. Other clauses in the contract waived the right to privacy, even with regard to the disclosure of medical and psychiatric information, along with agreeing not to change their appearance, hair color, weight, facial characteristics. The cast also agreed not to leave New Zealand without written permission. Can y'all imagine? Oh, thank you, all the tea in China. I appreciate it. Can you imagine signing a contract that says you can't even leave your country without permission from the production? Imagine that. And even before the cast were selected, they had to agree to full background checks, including police, medical, and psychological reports. Now, Dr. Heavenly, last year during some lives with Carlos King, she had asked Carlos if there were psychologists on his show for the cast. And she disclosed that for their show, anybody that's coming on the show, they have to get a background check. So this is what I'm saying. I feel like contracts across reality TV show, no matter what country you're in, whether it's USA, New Zealand, no matter what show you're on, whether it's Love and Marriage Huntsville, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, it's the same standard contract. It's the same standard contract. Let's continue. The producer and network reserved the right to, in quotes, y'all, remove or replace cast members for any reason whatsoever. Is that what they did to Sunny? Because why didn't we see the season play out fully with Sunny? Why was she not at Nell Fletcher's vow renewal? She was at Nell Fletcher's bachelorette party. And I feel like if Sunny didn't show up on her own accord to support Melody at Mimosas with Melody, they would not have invited Sunny to come and film. But because Sunny showed up to support Mel, they were like, okay, she's here. We can we can just video her and she'll be in the scene. That's what I think happened there. Let's continue. For all the demands placed on the cast, they were awarded some rights. Some rights, y'all. If they felt racially or sexually harassed or threatened with the conduct of anyone connected with the series, the cast member had the right to contact the producer without being penalized. Mm, 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 mm. So, one of the cast members of The Real Housewives of Auckland in New Zealand said that she had her lawyer friend look over the contract and he highlighted a few things, but she, quote unquote, wanted to do the show, so she went for it. How sad. I just thought, I know I'm a good person, and I had seen the overseas versions, so trusted the integrity of the brand, she said. Excuse me. She pointed to numerous seasons in other countries and said if there was any significant issue with the contract, other women would not be going back again and again. You see why it's important to speak up, ladies? And maybe if there are gentlemen in here. You see why it's important to speak up? You see why it's important that Melody is speaking up? Because here goes a woman from a whole other country signing a contract that wasn't in her best interest, but doing so because she felt like if those other reality stars in those other countries kept going back to their shows every season, then it must not be that bad. Okay, y'all, it's 1212, angel number. And if y'all have been following me long enough, you know that if I see an angel number while I'm on live, then I'm going to Google real quick and I'm going to go to images. And I'm gonna scroll, 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 until my finger stops. Okay. And then I'm going to read whatever the message is that my fingers stops on. All right, so 1212. What is the meaning? Hmm. Okay. Child. Oh wait, my bad, y'all. How did it do that? Okay, so what I found, the angel number 1212 is a reminder that your thoughts manifest your reality. The angels want to remind you to look after your thoughts. Now is the right time to focus on your thoughts and manifest positive outcomes instead of things you don't want in your life. You could meditate more or journal more, use affirmations more. That will help you stay positive. So I don't know who that is for. Maybe somebody in here was thinking, you know what? I need to start meditating. I need to start writing things down in my journal. I need to start saying some positive affirmations in the mornings or at night before I go to bed. If this message is for you, I hope that you receive it. Okay. All right. Let's continue, y'all. All right. So, as I was saying, this star in New Zealand decided that even though her lawyer friend told her the contract doesn't look right, she just felt like if all these other women in the US who are on these housewife shows keep going back to the franchise every season, then it can't be that bad. Maybe if those women were speaking up, then this girl would have said, yeah, I might need to have them change some language in my contract. Or maybe this is not the opportunity for me. This is why it's important that you speak up. Let's continue. Or she continues. I thought I'd take a chance as far as I was concerned. Well, I thought I'd take a chance. As far as I was concerned, there were women going back and doing it again and again. I thought, regardless of the contract, they are all pretty happy, so I went for it. Bailey Burton was thrilled with how the show turned out and how she was portrayed. She said her champagne sales, because I guess she sells champagnes, her champagne sales had boomed and she had new volunteers around Auckland feeding stray cats. In the third show of the series, she hosted I don't know if I can say this, PUSSY galore party raising funds for cats which had earlier been abandoned. Cass contracted to participate in advertising, publicity, blogs, video diaries, and webisodes. Producers gain approval to use of name, voice, imagery, and other intellectual property throughout the universe in perpetuity. Forever and ever and ever, y'all. When you sign this contract, you have to participate in get togethers with cast at producer's discretion. In Auckland, they were paid $15,000 for working on first season of the show. As I said before, in their contract, they couldn't change their appearance without written approval from producer. For dramatic effect, for dramatic effect, for dramatic effect, statements you make can be true, partially true, or untrue. So people can blatantly lie and there's no consequences if you're doing it in the context of filming for the show. Your personal, medical, psychiatric, or other information may be disclosed. The use of hidden cameras or recording devices can be used. That's crazy. Now I don't know if they can do that in the US, but it says that's what it says in their contracts here in Auckland. Contracts can be terminated in the event of death, serious illness, or serious injury to an immediate family member, or serious illness or serious injury to a cast member. They're just signing away they're signing away their lives on some of these reality shows. All right. Hi, Pamela Queen. All right, let's get into another reality TV show contract. All right. Heather Dubrow has revealed that she and her husband fought after he signed a contract for her to join the cast of The Real Housewives of Orange County without her knowledge. Wait, is this the one that I wanted to read? Um, no, this is not the one. Where's the one with the lady from Orange County? Um, when her and her husband were getting divorced. Okay, here it is from Radar Online. All right, y'all. Secret Housewives contract reveal what fame-hungry stars sign up for. Lose virtually all their rights and agree to be secretly recorded. Let's get into this one, y'all. Included in court documents filed by Real Housewives of Orange County star Tamara Barney's ex-husband Simon is a contract the mother of four signed to appear on the hit Bravo show. And Radar Online is revealing all the secrets of the explosive contract. The lengthy 9-page agreement gives a glimpse into the quote unquote reality the women agree to before cameras even start rolling and what they will be subject to while the cameras are rolling. Titled as a reality participation agreement, release and arbitration provisions. The contract is between the Real Housewives and the production company Evolution Film and Tape, Inc., and the network NBC Universal. And it's made clear that any agreement of wages or compensation will be made in a separate contract. This is what the contract says, y'all. Hey, Nikki's news on narcissism. Hey, Andrea P. So this is what the contract says. Are we ready? All right, let's go. My appearance, depiction, and portrayal in connection with the series, and my actions and the actions of others in connection with the series may be disparaging, defamatory, as in, now I'm putting this in there, y'all. So it may be defamatory and disparaging, as in a production company or a network, in my opinion, can put up a description for a reunion episode accusing a cast member of sexual grooming. Ain't that crazy? Is that not crazy? But let's continue. I have to start from the top because now I don't remember where I was. My appearance, depiction, and portrayal in connection with the series, and my actions and the actions of others in connection with the series may be disparaging, defamatory, embarrassing, or of an otherwise unfavorable nature, may expose me to public ridicule, humiliation, or condemnation, and may portray me in a false light. I hope to God this is not what the Love and Marriage Huntsville contract says. Let me continue. The contract reads basically admitting to heavily editing the footage. In all, the women must agree to 42 terms, including, hey, Miss Z, this contract that I'm reading is a Real Housewives contract. I think it's OC. Let me go back and see. Yeah. From the Real Housewives of Orange County. One of their stars, when she was getting a divorce, their contract was made public because divorce proceedings are public record unless you get them sealed. So that's what I'm reading from. All right. Where was I, y'all? Ooh. Mm. Not I lost it. God dang. Okay. One thing with some of these sites, they have so many things popping up. Okay. All right. So, in all, the women must agree to 42 terms, including housewives can't participate in any other unscripted reality program without approval from network and or 1 year after final appearance on the show. Now, Winter Harris took to her YouTube one day and she told us that come April, she will no longer be under contract with, I guess, Kingdom Reign for Love and Marriage DC, right? Am I lying, y'all? Did she not say that? And I think she said that it was like a 2 year window before she could even consider to be on another reality TV show because of that contract, right? So as I said, I feel like most reality TV contracts are standard. I feel like majority of them are standard. Like they have the same wording and everything. But all right, let me continue. Performers can appear in television shows and movies without approval from network producers, but obligations to the Real Housewives of Orange County comes first. The appearance shall not constitute an employment relationship, and the agreement does shall not entitle me to any wages, salary, corporate benefits, workers' compensation benefits, or other compensation of any kind. If performer performs any music not provided by producers of the show, the performer will waive any rights to royalties and grants producer the right to reproduce, etc. The contract that they sign also states that I am in good physical, emotional, psychological, and mental health, and am capable of performing any activities that I may perform during the course of participation in the series, even though I do not know how. Even though I do not know now precisely what those activities shall entail. Child, what? So you are signing a contract that says, I'm in good psychological health and physical health, and I am able to do whatever you're asking of me, even though I don't know what you're asking of me yet. That's crazy. Again, I have a friend who's an entertainment lawyer here in the state of Florida. He has worked with reality TV stars on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami, and Love and Hip Hop LA. And he has told me that a reality TV contract is one of the worst contracts that anybody can get into. And I'm guessing this is why. Because how can you sign to say that you are willing to do anything and you are physically able to do anything and mentally able to do anything, even though you don't know what those activities shall entail? That's crazy to me. Let's continue. Some of the terms are written in all capital letters, pointing to great importance. Both the producer and the network are given, in quotes, the right to record my voice using concealed devices while I am talking on the telephone. Y'all remember when Melody was on Twitter? Remember when Stormy felt like Melody was talking about her? But Melody was on Twitter questioning who was recording her in her house, unbeknownst to her. And she had evidence that somebody was recording her. I wonder. I wonder. Because let me read that again. Both the producer and the network are given the, in quotes, the right to record my voice using concealed devices while I am talking on the telephone. And this is an alleged Real Housewives of Orange County contract. Again, I don't know what's in Melody's contract. We are just exposing some of the reality TV contracts that are out here in the public domain, or the alleged contracts that are out here in the public domain. Tape, these are all, everything that I'm about to read right now, y'all, is in full caps. Everything. So listen up. Tape and audio recordings of my voice and statements while I am on the telephone, and the actions and statements of the other participants while they are on the telephone, um, may be made using such recording devices and other devices located throughout the locations, including areas in which a person under other circumstances might have reasonable expectation of privacy. Let me read that again. This is in full caps. Tape and audio recordings of my voice and statements while I am on the telephone, and the actions and statements of the other participants while they are on the telephone, may be made using such recording devices and other devices located throughout the locations, including areas in which a person under other circumstances might have a reasonable expectation of privacy. What that says to me is, if I am on a reality TV show and they are taping in my home, and they're taping in my home, and I have to make a phone call, and I say, okay, let's stop filming for a second, and I walk into my bathroom thinking that I have privacy in my bathroom or privacy in my bedroom because nobody's allowed to film in my bedroom, it is possible that it is possible that they could have recording devices in my bathroom where I expect there to be none, or in my bedroom where I expect there to be none, or in my kids' room where I expect there to be none. That's wild. That is wild. Let's continue. Another clause reads, and these are also in full caps, y'all. My participation in the series may cause me, mm, may cause me to be in environments where I may hear, see, or encounter speech or physical contact, or otherwise experience sensations that I or others may consider offensive. I freely and knowingly consent to subject myself to such speech, conduct, and sensations from others outside of the producer. Child, what? Child, what? I may encounter physical contact and I'm gonna sign to that? No, no. My lawyers are going to ask you to remove that clause right there. I will not experience physical contact. I'm not fighting. And nobody's putting their hands on me. I'm calling the police. That's wild. The article continues. Interestingly, while many of the housewives go on to diversify their incomes with spokesperson deals and even taking entrepreneurial incentive to start their own lines of clothing and food, the contract blatantly states that they are not to mention or plug any products. This is why I tell people that when Candace Dillard Bassett joined the Real Housewives of Potomac, she was a business owner. Candace had a salon suite that she owns alongside her mom and her sister in Atlanta, Georgia. She had a hair extension company that she owns with her sister. And she also had a pageant consultancy business. When she joined Real Housewives of Potomac. But perhaps because her contract stated, blatantly stated, that she can't plug her businesses, she never talked about it. And because perhaps her contract said your castmates are allowed to lie on you and make disparaging statements that they know are untrue, the narrative was spread the entire season 3 and 4. And even to this day, there are people who don't believe that Candace owned three businesses. Three businesses. She was also an actress. We're talking about a woman who graduated from from Howard. We're talking about a woman who spent 2.5 years working in the White House. But people were out here saying that she was living off her mom and that she didn't work. And that narrative was allowed to fly, perhaps because of a contract like this. That's crazy. But let's continue, y'all. The contract continues, or this alleged contract continues. I shall not mention or plug any product, service, venture, or things on the series whatsoever. I have not given or agreed to give anything of value to anyone to be a participant in the series. I have not accepted or agreed to accept anything of value to promote any products, services, or ventures in connection with the series, and shall not do any of the foregoing in the future, the contract reads. It continues, I know that producer and the network do not permit any such conduct, and it may be a federal offense not to tell the producers and the network in advance written request. All participants agree not to sue and sign that, and this is in full caps. All participants agree not to sue and sign that if any controversy or claim arising out of or relating to this agreement, the breach of any term thereof, the parties agree to endeavor first to settle the controversy or claim by mediation. So essentially, if one of these Real Housewives stars decide that they are going to sue the network or the production company, they can't go through the courts first. They have to go through mediation. So essentially, they can't really sue. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Miss Z, you said, I guarantee you Candy's contract don't look like that. Because probably Candy's lawyer said, girl, take that out, take that out, take that out, put that in. All right, let's continue. Simon has told a California judge that the pair's three children would not be allowed to appear on the hit Bravo show because they have suffered consistent embarrassment due to their mother's behavior. Also included in the court documents is a parental consent that both Simon and Tamra signed in 2009, giving permission for their daughter, Sydney, to appear on the show. Wow. Just wow. Now, Miss Z, I see you talk about the Bethany Frankel. Let's read what the Bethany clause is. Because after Bethany made her millions with the Skinny Girl brand, allegedly, Bravo said, oh, hell no. We can't have these girls out here coming on the show broke because Bethany was broke when she was on The Housewives. And by the time she left, she had a multi-million-dollar brand. So let's read what the Bethany Clause is. The Bethany Clause is a contractual provision that gives a network a share of a reality star's business profits. The term is named after Bethany Frankel, who was the first to remove this clause from her contract. How does it work? The clause gives a network a percentage of a reality star's profits from their personal businesses. The clause can have significant legal implications for the reality star. Frankel was the first reality star to remove the clause from her contract with Bravo TV for The Real Housewives of New York. Frankel removed the clause because she felt it was wrong and wanted to retain full ownership of her Skinny Girl brand. Frankel's actions changed the entertainment industry's practices. Ain't that something? Okay, so this is what the clause is, y'all. The Bethany Clause is a term that has been coined in the industry for a contract provision that grants the television network a specific percentage of profits of a TV personality's private businesses that are promoted on screen. While Bethany Clause is more of a nickname and not a recognized legal term, it can certainly have huge legal impacts for TV personalities. Typically, this contract provision reserves to the TV network a particular percentage of revenue that the personality's business made during that TV season. The idea is that since the personality is using the TV's network to promote their business, the network deserves to share in some of the profits. TV personalities have the right to refuse to sign a contract with this clause, but they run the risk that the network will not allow them to appear on the show. The Bethany clause was named after Bethany Frankel, who was the first TV personality to catch this clause in her contract with Bravo TV for The Real Housewives of New York. She struck out this provision because she instinctually felt that it was wrong. And boy, was she glad she did it. Since she caught this provision and struck it out of her contract, she was able to retain full ownership and profits of her private brand, Skinny Girl. She went from making 7,250 in her first $250 in her first season of Real Housewives of New York to retaining millions. When she later sold her brand Skinny Girl for $100 million, she did not owe any percentage to Bravo. Bethany was the last housewife to reap the benefits of this because once the network realized the mistake, it implemented the Bethany clause for all TV personalities. Bethany spoke out about her experience in efforts to encourage others to be smart about the contracts they sign. Isn't that amazing? It was amazing for her because after, in my opinion, after Bravo didn't get a cut of that $100 million check, they were like, we are not going to allow any other reality TV star to come on this network and get to the level of a Bethany Frankel, and we don't profit from it. And this is why Buffy Purcell, that was on Married to Medicine, she talked about how there were certain things that she did not promote on Married to Medicine because she did not want them to have a percentage of any of her business. She talked about how Jackie, with Jackie's book and some of Jackie's products that she promotes on the show, how the network is perhaps getting a percentage of Jackie's business, getting a percentage of her books. I hear that Jackie's book, Queen V, is actually distributed by Andy Cohen's publishing company, which is probably why Jackie is, even though she's not given any storylines, we don't hear Jackie say much on the show. She's never going to leave because Bravo's money is tied up in Jackie outside of her presence on the show. But that's it, y'all. That's some of the reality TV contracts that's out there in the public domain. As you can see from what I've read from the three contracts that I found, a lot of it sounds like some of the things that Melody Sherry was explaining in her live yesterday. How there are reality TV stars who will know that they don't have an issue with each other, but are willing to accept a bug in their ear and will go sit on on a reunion stage. And instead of being real and saying, yeah, Mel and I initially, I had an issue with her talking about the lipstick on Maurice's shirt, but we talked about it, we talked through it, and we came to a resolution, and we've been cool ever since. So yeah, Mel and I are good. But in my mind, to the production, if Kimmy was supposed to go on the stage and say that, in their mind, that's boring. That's boring. You gotta bring it. Stick it to her. You need to show her that you're mad about it. Or if you don't do it, we might have to reconsider giving you a contract for the next season. And if you're shaking in your boots because the bulk of your money, you're making it on the reality show, then you might say, you know what? I'll do it. I'll go on the stage and curse Melody out if that's what y'all want me to do, even though I know Mel and I don't have any issues. How about this? Do y'all feel like Kimmy could have texted Melody real quick and say, hey girl, I just want to tell you, they're asking me to come at you hard on the reunion stage. Please don't take it personally. Sometimes we just got to do what we got to do for entertainment purposes. But we're cool. We're going to figure out a way to have this moment on the stage where I'm coming at you, and then we can find a resolve in the moment so that we can show the fans that, it's nothing serious. How about if Kimmy had done that and not caught Melody off guard in that way? You're right, Miss Z. But because she don't really like Melody, she wasn't gonna do that. I had a soft spot for Kimmy. I've been saying it for months and months and months that I had a soft spot for Kimmy. But now that soft spot is gone. It's hardened. It's hardened. Even Jay Taylor said it, that Kimmy was one of the people on the cast that he kind of looked at as, you know what, you're kind of neutral, you got a little bit of sense. But what we're about to watch on Saturday, that Kimmy's about to do on that reunion stage, it's going to change the trajectory of whatever relationship. Well, it has, in my opinion, changed the trajectory of whatever relationship her and Melody still had. Because what she showed Melody is you don't have a sense of self. You're not strong enough to say no. You are willing to be gutter for some money. And those are the type of people you definitely should not be cool with. You don't want to be cordial with them. You don't want them to be acquaintances. And you definitely don't want them to be friends. Type of people that will sell you out for 30 pieces of silver, child. Those are the type of people you shouldn't want around you. So I think it's perfect that these people continue to show their colors. Kimmy showed her colors on the reunion stage. And as Melody was trying to get to a better place with the Scots, Tisha goes on Carlos King and she reminds Melody of how much of a snake she is by admitting that they all have been sitting around watching Martell show them videos of Melody, inappropriate videos, private videos. And even as Tisha is calling up Melody and saying, hey girl, I need some advice on this, that, and the third, and Melody's giving her advice, she don't say to her, look, I know we haven't been cool for a while, but now that we're getting to a better place, I think it's only right that I tell you that Martell's been showing us for a few years now private, intimate videos of you. Or girl, now that we're getting back cool, I want to let you know that one of my associates, her name is Carson Blue, she's cool with, or she was cool with, your ex's baby mother. And she brought to our attention that there is some revenge P plot in place. But nah, y'all sat around and y'all allowed these things to happen. And y'all blame the Melometers and Melody supporters for everything that's happening in y'all's life that we're reporting on. And then y'all make Melody the villain when she is the victim of y'all's hate, and the victim of her ex's emotional and narcissistic, in my opinion, AB. That's some nasty work. And why are y'all doing this? For a TV show? For a TV show that y'all didn't even believe in when Melody brought the idea to y'all in the first place? Wow. So, anyways, y'all, thank you guys for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Until my next video, I'm sure I'll catch y'all in these YouTube streets. So walk good. Bye.